Everybody. I'm in London and I'm on my way to Israel. So you're not going to get a video with all the normal frills as before because I don't have access to that template. But you'll get this video nonetheless. I've been studying Jonah, and there's been some recent developments in my studies that have helped me to understand God's character a little bit better that I'd like to share with you. First off, when Jonah went and got thrown into the sea. This isn't something that the sailors just up and did. Jonah, like Yeshua crossing Galilee, was asleep in the bowels of the boat during the storm that was threatening to tear the boat apart. And the captain of the boat comes to Jonah and says, "What do you mean by this, O sleeper? Wake up, we're about to die. Go pray to your God." Previously, I assume, as Jonah was entering the boat, boarding the ship, that's likely when he told them what he was doing. He was running from God. They had already known that. So he's praying to God, and then they cast lots, and the lot falls on Jonah. And they say, "Who are you? What are you doing?" And he says, You guys should throw me overboard. This is happening to you because of me." And they didn't pick him up and throw him overboard like he had requested. Instead, they got on a horse and they started rowing for shore. But the storm grew stronger and stronger yet until they gave up, picked up Jonah, and threw him overboard. Now, previous to all this, the Lord had come to Jonah and told him, "Go to Nineveh, preach to them." And Jonah turned to Jonah, and Jonah turns and runs the other way to Tarshish. He was afraid. But what was he afraid of? He was afraid of death. He was afraid for his own safety. And in running away from God, his own safety was at jeopardy, and death came knocking at his door. You can see that by the poetry that he recites while in the bowels of the great fish, which threw him up on the shores of Nineveh. This is a great picture of God's character. Comes to Jonah. "Hey Jonah, go to Nineveh. Do some preaching for me." And then Jonah goes through all of that and spat up on the shore. And God says, "Hey, Jonah, go to Nineveh. Do some preaching for me." You see, at this point, Jonah really feared God. Previous to this, Jonah said that he feared God. That's how he introduced himself to these men. "My name is Jonah, son of Amittai, and I fear the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob." But did he really fear him if he was trying to run away from him? No, he didn't. It was that experience that caused him to find himself walking through the city. That leads us to another lesson. Jonah did almost nothing to save this city. It was a 3 days journey across the sea. And not after the first day, in the first day. That could be 12 hours of preaching, 6 hours of preaching, 1 hour of preaching. Who knows? But in the first day, the city began to repent. The words that he was saying spread like wildfire throughout the city. He didn't even have to go to the king. The king heard what was being said, and he's the one who proclaimed the fast over the city of 120,000. And that put him in a position where he was successful. And what did Jonah do once he found out he was successful? He turned to God, shook his fist, and says, "How dare you save this city, Lord? How dare you?" Now, God doesn't say this, but you know he was thinking it. Jonah, that was the point. Even in spite of the preacher himself, God saved that city. I hope this message has blessed you, give you something to chew on, something to anchor your mind on, instead of worrying about the things of the world, trusting in God, filling your mind with his riddles and his knowledge and understanding, and being blessed by that. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Thanks for growing with us today.